Hey, Tammy, let's talk about divorce and real estate.
Ooh, that is one hot topic, girl.
Just because one person wants to keep the house during a divorce does not mean that they actually can keep it.
It is one of the biggest questions we get when a couple goes through a divorce. And honestly, the answer usually has less to do with emotion and more to do with actual numbers.
That's right. We've seen people fight very hard to keep the house that they loved, but then end up not being able to financially afford it.
A house is not just emotion, it is math. Equity is the difference between what you actually owe on your home and what you actually are going to get from it. So let's do some simple math and do an example. If your home is worth $500,000, you owe a mortgage of $300,000. That means there's $200,000 in equity that you will more likely be able to split between you and your spouse.
And even if one spouse wants to keep the house, they still have to now afford it on one income. Affording that home looks like being able to pay the mortgage payment, taxes, insurance, maintenance, and utilities.
That's right.
Sometimes keeping the house looks like a win, but actually it becomes very overwhelming.
A lot of people assume that you can just remove somebody from your mortgage, but it doesn't actually work that way. You actually have to refinance the home, and the remaining spouse has to qualify by themselves.
That's right. So some common issues with that would be debt to income ratios.
Right.
Also income challenges after a divorce. Occasionally you would have to pay, a spouse would be paying alimony or child support, which will also change their income. Interest rates are often higher than when you actually made that home purchase.
Right.
Sometimes someone can afford the payment that they have, but they cannot actually qualify for the new loan that they need.
Which means emotional attachment versus what actually reality is, right? There's a lot of emotion when you're going through a divorce because you raised your kids in that house more than likely, or you had the holidays there, and it feels like stability instead of the chaos that you're actually going through right now.
That's true. But keeping a house because you're afraid to let it go can sometimes delay your healing. Let's talk about some positives. You can be moving towards fresh starts by selling your home, reducing financial stress, and also creating stability in another way. Sometimes the healthiest decision isn't to keep the home, but it's actually protecting your future.
What should you really do first when you're navigating a divorce? We're going to give you 5 little things. 1, know your real numbers. 2, talk to a lender early. And when I say lender, I'm not talking about your mortgage company. I'm talking about a trusted lender locally. 3, understand your current equity in the home. 4, remove emotion long enough to evaluate reality, because that's probably the hardest one of all of them. And 5, build your plan, not just a reaction.
Yeah, because you do not have to make decisions based on panic. The more information that you actually have, the better choices you can make.
If you're navigating through a divorce right now and need to know what options you have, give us a call because we're here to help.
That's right. And we have developed an amazing new program called the Dual Advocate Program that has helped many couples that are navigating the sale of a home during a divorce. So give us a call today.